Parents wouldn't, I didn't think that was good for them to see, but the parents let me get by with it, so it worked out well. But I doubt they could buy that today. They wouldn't buy that. And then the only thing I might add that it probably would be a little different if the parents sometimes did go on some of these trips, because there was quite a few things happen, and Vicki just entered on one when I was a little upset for one of the kids were acting going across Kansas, and I said they need a little road work, so I stopped the car, and everybody got out. We had 2 cars, by the way. And everybody got out, and I drove up a mile, and so there they were running down the highway, and I had no idea that Bill was behind me. So we got to California, and Bill walked up and he says, "I'm driving through Kansas." He said, "I see a bunch of kids running down the highway," and I said, "I want to know one coach would make kids run down the highway." And he said, and sure enough, there you were. So during that trip, though, if the parents was along, this might not happen either. During the trip, we did a lot of camping. And I remember one state park, we was camping, and the kids started a fire. It was a nice fire, and we started kind of sitting around a little bit, and I finally asked a question. It probably was a stupid question. I said, "Where are you kids getting this wood?" And one of them said, "Off that little barn over there." Then the ranger come. So I had to talk with the ranger and promised that we wouldn't pillage any more wood in that picture. And he let us off a little bit, and he said, "By the way," he says, "you can buy firewood down at the ranger station." And I said, "That's a good idea." I went down, got some wood, a couple of boxes, and come back. And everything was okay. And I noticed the little fire was getting a little tall. And then the ranger come back. And he said, "Well," he said, "this is the dry season." He said, "to keep those fires down." And I said, "Okay." And the ranger looked at me, he says, "It might help you just burn 1 or 2 of those logs out of the box. Don't throw the whole box on at once." So probably if that's more parents along, that wouldn't happen. Then we got to the motel, El Rancho Motel or something like that. And it was. Anyway, the first thing that happened after the first night, I got a call from the manager. Him and I had a lot of talk. And he said, "You coach of this team, staying in my hotel?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, my maids refused to go into that men's room, the boys' room." I said, "What's the matter?" "They're not going in until you go and get the pizza off the wall and put the mattresses back on the bed." Actually, Judo had a mattress off the bed. I've seen Judo on the mattresses. I don't know what their pizza comes from, but it was on the wall and replaced that. So I had to take care of that problem. And I thought it was all solved. Everything was going along fine. I received another call about 3 or 4 days later. And they said, "You got to get your team out of the pool." I said, "What's the matter now?" And well, the pool's developed or situated so the pool emptied up into behind the bar, big all glass, and the bar behind that was the heating room. Well, my teammates probably mooned the whole bar and the rest of I didn't say anybody's name.
I think it's worthy of mentioning and having those team members stand up.
So I had another talk with the manager. And that was quite a trip. We took a team to Camp Olympus one time. We took it many times to Camp Olympus. But one event time was stopped at Uniontown, Pennsylvania. And I'll tell the story. We stopped at a hotel, and it was a type of hotel that little bitty houses, rooms. And so we put the women and the girls in one, boys in the other. He and I had one. And everything was going along pretty good. Pretty soon I get a knock on that door. And there's a guy standing outside. He said, "You got some kind of a owner of a team or something around here or something? Or you got a bunch of boys and girls?" And I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Well," he says, "they're ruining my business." And I said, "What kind of business are you in?" And he was a pimp. And he was, had a few ladies there in the evening. And the boys that I didn't know of were yelling at the men going into the door, "Don't go in there, mister. Don't go in there, mister. There's something going on there, mister. Don't go in there." And the girls had a stopwatch and they were timing it. When the light went off in the room, it goes to push the clock, and then go tell the guys who was fastest, who was the slowest. So maybe it's good enough your parents wasn't wrong that time. I didn't tell her that. Then we took the team to Germany, and that was quite a trip. You asked me how I got so lucky to be the coach of the team, which I was. I was on the board, and we decided to do this. And so everybody knows my wife, Regina, she is from Germany, so there would be no language barrier. So I volunteered to take the team, you know, because, and everybody thought it would be a good idea because of Regina's knowledge of German. So we took the team, went over to Germany, and everything was going good until the second day. We went to a big town called Frankfurt, and some of the guys on the team found out that McDonald's sells beer over there. I lost half the team in 2 hours. And I couldn't find them. I don't know how they got back to this town, but they did. They were there the next morning for workouts. Not very good shape to begin with. And then another time was in a restaurant. The restaurant is called a Gasthaus over there. And the girls, for some reason, sit on a table called the Stammtisch table. And on this table they have a bell. And it's made for like a group of men, usually, that come to meet. And every time you order around, you ring the bell. And the waitress comes, brings the beer or whatever. So I knew the girls sitting at the table, and I kept hearing that bell go off. And I said, "What's going on over there?" And they said, "Well, that's where they're sitting at the table." And I said, "I'm going to go over and see what's going on." So I went over there. They were having a good time. They were laughing and everything, but they were drinking applesauce. And they thought it was apple cider. And over in Germany, there's a little bit of wine with the apples.
That's a liqueur.
They were,
Little
yeah.
shots.
And so I had to get away from that table real quick and explain to them what they were drinking. So that was a lot of fun.